Alright guys, it says I'm live, so I must be live, right? The internet never lies. Welcome in guys, welcome in. This is Hanging with Dave. What episode am I on this week? Looks like episode 44. Come on in, find your seat. Cheers to y'all on this Saturday morning. Oh, I'm sorry, that was my bad. It's Saturday afternoon. I actually worked this morning. A few disclaimers to throw out at the beginning of every one of these that I do. As you noticed, I do enjoy me a cold Budweiser while I do this, which usually on days off or after a full day worth of work, I like to have I enjoy me an alcoholic beverage. Also, I am a truck driver by trade. So you may actually hear a cuss word from time to time. I try to keep that to a very minimum. But it does happen, so it may happen. You know, I try not to. But this is a little live show that I do every week. Just kind of come down through and answer all the comments and questions that have been left on my videos for the past week. And anybody that's in chat and they'd like to ask something, throw it up there. I'll be more than happy to answer it the best that I can for you. So cheers to y'all on this Saturday afternoon. Another disclaimer, I'm not very good with the English language. So if you're in chat or if you left a comment and I butcher your name, I apologize up front. Some of these YouTube handles get pretty bad from time to time. Yeah, there is that as well. And I'm not going to do it after every comment, but I want to thank you all for the views. I want to thank you all for the comments, the shares, the likes, and everything like that. The subscribers really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. Alright, with all the disclaimers and all the thank yous and all that out of the way, I guess we're about ready to start getting into the Q&A here and going through the comments. Alright guys, let's see here. We'll get rid of that, and we'll get rid of that. And we'll flip you over here to this one. Alright guys, here we go. 6 days ago, it was edited. It's Geo, I guess, G-I-O. It was on the Prime B550A Wi-Fi motherboard, unboxing and overview. With Corsair versions, ARGB, Pro 4x8, 3600 megahertz, Cast Lucy 18, 32 gigabyte kit work on this motherboard with a Ryzen 7 3700. Don't know. I don't have that kit to test. And even if I did have the exact same kit, it may vary. Depends what the kit's on the QVL or not, which that don't even really say much. Because sometimes there's kits listed on QVL that don't work. But if it is listed on the QVL, well, you got a better chance for it to working. But the only thing I can say is get the SKU number off the side of it or off of the listing where we're buying it from, and see if it's on the QL list. And good luck. You know, even though Ryzen's been around for quite a few years now, they still have a memory compatibility issue for some reason. And Corsair, I believe, they're the ones that don't guarantee the RAM to be compatible with AMD systems. Let's see here. We have Cindy Bird 6 days ago. That was on last week's Hanging Out. It says couldn't make it this time. I'll definitely try to next time. Well, hope you make it in today. I hope you're watching. I hope you're enjoying. If you are watching, I want to thank you. Nathan Rodriguez, I guess is the way you pronounce that. That was also on last week's live show. Says, same bro, I really want to make the next one. Again, I hope you did make it in this week, and hope you're enjoying so far. Let's see here, 5 days ago, we have Bennett Canmore, I guess we pronounce that. How to overclock your RAM. I got malware in my PC. I can't factory reset my PC. How would I fix it? Do reset in the BIOS. If it's actually a malware, resetting your BIOS ain't gonna do a whole lot for it. If it is an actual malware and not a rootkit or something like that, I'd run something like Malwarebytes to get rid of it. They do have a free version of Malwarebytes that does run a scan on it. It don't protect your computer at all times, but it does run a scan. It's pretty good. I used to use it all the time whenever I was working on computers for other people. So I'd try something like that. Like I said, resetting BIOS really ain't gonna do much for it. If it's a rootkit, good luck on trying to get rid of them, which I haven't seen one of them in a long time. Until about last year or so, I seen one in a laptop. And with a rootkit, they're very hard to get rid of, if you can get rid of them. If you don't know, rootkit, it is a malware, but it's a little bit worse than the malware because it embeds itself into the memory of the motherboard. Most of the time, the only way to get rid of a rootkit is to get you a new motherboard, or to get that motherboard reshipped. To most motherboards, even the most expensive ones, really ain't worth the money to get them reshipped. But good luck with that. I would say you try something like Malwarebytes and scan your system with it. That is if it's a malware. If it is a malware and something like that don't help, you may have to erase your data and start all over good. Start all over with a clean install of Windows. Maxter 1878. Evening, Dave. Hope you had a good week. Yeah, my week wasn't too bad. How about yourself? I hope you enjoyed your week. The time for the weekend, huh? My weekend wasn't too bad. Can't complain. Don't do me no good anyways. Glad to see you can make it this week again. Let's see here, where are we at? Balajam Panin, I guess we pronounce that. Last week's live show. You are a great guy, Dave. Thank you. Gave me a thumbs up. Also, can you change the timing of your live stream? It happens at 2:30 a.m. where I live. Well, no, I really can't. VK, let's go. I'm going, buddy. I'm going. As far as changing the live stream times, I kind of pick the times I do live stream to kind of fit around my schedule, what's best for me. And I knew going into it that there's no way I'm going to please everybody. Not everybody's going to be able to make it when they can, and change it. I think it'd be a little bit foolish on my part and try to find the time that fits everybody's schedule. Because everybody is from different parts of the world. It'd be kind of useless. But like I said, the times that I picked for this live stream, it's what fits into my schedule. Maxter 1878. Cheers, I had a good week, but not enough PC time. Yep, I understand that. Candy Bird, hello, how's it going? Loving the vids. Well, thank you. It's going pretty good. It's going better now since I see some people starting to watch me on this weekend. VK, haha, I'm not rushing you. Just excited. I didn't miss the stream. No, you didn't miss it. You made it. We're able to, for sure, a 3080 or 3090. Nah, I don't have either one of them. I'm like everybody else. As soon as I hit the refresh button, it went from auto notify straight to sold out. I didn't I didn't get to get any of them either. Hopefully here in a month or so, hopefully they'll come back into stock and whatnot. But the 3070, that's the one I'm really looking forward to. It's more on the budget side, but the 2080 Ti performance, that's the one that one there kind of piques my interest more than the 3080 or the 3090 does. Because if you can get 2080 Ti performance, it's a $1,500 graphics card for $500. That's pretty good. And I think that's going to be the one that most people are going to be shooting for. Even though a 2080 Ti ain't it ain't really made for 1080p gaming. It's still going to be a 1440p card, I believe. Or a 4K card. But yeah, that 3070 is the one I'm kind of shooting for. But I tried the 3080 and the 3090 and I couldn't get either one either. Wanted to drop in and say hi, hello. I've watched a few of your bids, I guess it'll be vids, and past to help me troubleshoot some things. Thanks for all that. Well, thank you for the watches. Thanks for stopping by and saying howdy. I appreciate it. Glad you could catch the live stream for as long as you're going to stay tonight. I want to thank you for that. But yeah, that, like I said, that 3070 is the one that really interests me. It's the one I'm going to really try my best to try to catch. Hopefully by the time that one launches, because the way 3080 and 3090 went about the launch, hopefully by the time 3070 launches, they'll have a lot of that bot stuff straightened out. So I'm kind of hoping to catch that one. And like I said, hopefully they got it figured out to where people ain't buying 50 or 60 of them at one shot. And other people like us have a chance to actually get our hands on them. Let's see here. What else do we got over here? We have Machai, I guess we pronounce that with 3 I's. How to overclock the Ryzen 5 2400G on the Gigabyte motherboard. Hi, sir, can the Ryzen 5 2600 overclockable with this motherboard? Yeah. Then unlock SKU, it's an unlocked motherboard. Yeah, you can overclock with it. All the Ryzen processors are unlocked, so yeah, I don't see no reason. That is more of a budget-friendly motherboard, so the power delivery is kind of a holdback point on it. So yeah, it's possible that you could overclock with it, but can't guarantee what you're going to get out of it. MT Connor, glad I didn't even try for the 30 series. Still loving my 5600 XT. Yeah, I agree with that. I got the 2070 Super, and that's more than enough video card for what I do. I'm trying to get the 30 series just to have some content for the channel on it. Rather than that, I really don't need the 30 series. And like I said, 3070 is going to be the sweet spot, so that's one I'd really like to get my hands on. But as far as needing an upgrade path for my own PC, I really don't need one. 2070 Super is doing great for what I need it for. Let's see here. Next, I have Haram Malana, I guess. I don't know. How to dedicate more RAM to the integrated graphics. We're looking for a video specific, thanks a lot. My question is, what version of the BIOS are you using in this video? Greetings from Mexico. Well, greetings from the US. The version of the BIOS in that one, I believe that was when I first bought the motherboard before I even updated the BIOS. So I'm going to say it was probably like F5, F6, somewhere around in there. It's going to be one of the lower versions of it. But I say that mainly because the motherboard wasn't out very long when I did that video. And I did that video before I updated the BIOS. So it's probably a pretty low level with the BIOS. But to be particular and give you exact number of BIOS, I'm not too sure on what it was. James O'Neill, how to install the ARGB lights and fans in a computer. Love the content, man. Keep up the good work. I plan on it. Plan on keeping on, right? Peace says great. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Charles Alcazar, I guess the way you pronounce that. How to overclock your RAM. I have a 2x8 gig, 3600 megahertz speed, or 2450M, 2450M. The memory frequency won't go up from 2400. I've tried every possible guide and tutorial and still did not work. Still hoping someone could help me. 2 8 gigs, 3600 megahertz. Got the 2450M. I'm not even really sure. I've never heard of that motherboard. With the Oris 2450M, you put in the Oris 2450M, and it comes up with a CPU. Comes up with the i5. If you're actually on a laptop, you ain't gonna be able to get anything better out of that. And I think that's what you're on. 2450M is an Intel chip, the i5 chip. I didn't think it was a processor. So if you're trying to overclock your RAM on a laptop, you ain't gonna be able to do it. Them laptops is locked down, and they're locked down pretty tight due to the fact that because of the heat and because of the because you're running off of a battery most of the time on a laptop, they're usually locked down to whatever the. I'm actually surprised you're getting 2400 megahertz out of it. A lot of them only hit 2133. But yeah, you ain't gonna be able to overclock if that's on a laptop. I don't know how you got 2 8 gig sticks of 3600 megahertz unless you bought aftermarket RAM to put into it. But if that's a laptop, most likely you ain't gonna get them speeds out of it. Let's see, who else do we got? Dr. Dragon. Thanks for the video, Dave. And nice to see the temps with the stock cooler and the other one. Would be nice to see a picture of the coolers also. Now, should you overclock the Ryzen 5 3600 with the Wraith Stealth Cooler? Yeah, I kinda, if you did notice that video was kinda rushed, especially towards the end to be able to get it up one time. So yeah, it was kinda rushed, and I thought about pointing the camera to the computer and showing you the heat sinks. I thought about maybe pulling them up on the internet to show you a picture of the heat sinks, show you the difference in them. But I didn't do it. The Hyper T4 I've covered on the channel before, the Wraith Stealth Cooler. You know, pretty well everybody knows what it looks like. The Hyper T4 just looks like the Hyper 212, just a little bit smaller because it's only 4 pipes instead of 6. But other than that, it's basically the same thing. Like I said, I thought about doing it, but I never did do it. Let's see here. Maxter 1878. Should you overclock the 3600? Great to see the comparison, Dave. I heard AMD lowered the quality of the cooler on the 3000 series, which makes sense because the only one I got with my 3600X seems a lot louder than with my 2000 series. You know, I've heard that they did lower the quality of the cooler from the 2000 to the 3000 series. I can't verify that. Most of my heat sinks that come with CPUs end up in the drawer, and I kind of lose track of which one's with what. So I really couldn't tell you. You know, I really wouldn't know which one to put against which one to even do a comparison between the two, actually. I built custom PCs and repaired computers for people as a side hustle. Thought I own a nice laptop. I don't recommend them. Pain in the butt they are. Yeah, laptops are, especially if you're trying to work on them. I don't recommend laptops. But if you need the portability of a laptop, you know, it's better than trying to lug around a big old desktop computer with you. But, you know, it's everybody to their own. Let's see here. Next we got Sherman's 0331. Should you overclock the 3600? Hey Dave, awesome video once again. I've learned more in the last 2 weeks watching your videos than I have in 2 years. I have a question pertaining to overclocking my 2700X. I am currently running at 4.1 megahertz with 1.3 volts. My cooler is the Corsair H60 liquid cooler. Should I be using PBO instead of manual overclocking? If so, how do I do that? Is there a video on you have yourself or others you recommend watching? Well, let's look up the 2700X, see what it boosts up to itself. Because I'm not too sure on what the frequency is on the 2700X. We will take a second here, and we will find the 2700X. 3.7, and it boosts up to 4.3 gigahertz. Okay, so it's running, so it'll go up to 4.3 by itself. And you're running at 4.1 megahertz with 1.3 volts. Then the second part of the question, should I be using PBO instead of manual overclocking? If I'm not mistaken, that PBO is actually the overclocking that AMD processors do on their own. PBO overclocking. I think that's what that represents. Yep, precision boost overdrive. How do you use PBO? Set it back to auto. Go into your BIOS. Set everything back to standard settings. Go in your BIOS. Push F10. Go down to reset or restore your settings, and that turns it back on. PBO is something that happens automatically. There's nothing that you really need to do with PBO. Just use your computer as you normally do. And I'll tell you the truth, as far as the overclocking, manual overclocking compared to PBO, or even Intel's overclocking, you know, if you can't get it past what they say they can boost it to by themselves, you know, their boost clock is, it really ain't worth the time and the effort to overclock them. Overclocking to me is becoming a thing of the past. I believe this. Some people may disagree with that statement. But the processors are getting so good to where they're so good at overclocking itself, you know, manual overclocking is almost dead or awful close to it. I mean, unless you're going for LN2 or something like that, that you really push the limits, you know, you have ways to really get the most out of them chips. Which, if you ever notice someone that's running LN2 overclocking, they don't run like that all the time. They're doing it just to see what the best performance they can get out of it. Then they go back to running on water, air, or whatever. You know, I mean, LN2 ain't something that they do constantly to get that kind of performance out of the processor. They do it for the fun of it. But if you can't get that thing up to what it's supposed to max up to, it ain't very good overclock. PBO, you know, you reset your factory settings in your BIOS, and PBO automatically kicks in. It's the precision boost overdrive that, you know, that lets your process get up to that 4.3 overclock. And a lot of times that number is actually low. A lot of the time AMD processors will literally go by themselves above what they say they will. MT Cooler, my HP Alban laptop with 9th gen i7 and 1050 Ti overclocked nicely, but gets a hot. Instead of overclocking, I decided to underclock for better thermals. Yeah, laptops ain't really made to be overclocked because they are such a small form factor. You know, they're designed the way they are designed to keep the thermals down and to keep the power consumption down. I'm actually surprised you could even overclock your HP, hoping. But yeah, laptops is made for power consumption to be cheaper to run because they do run off of a battery. They are limited on the airflow that's going through them. So it is hard to get any kind of overclock on them. If they even let you overclock, a lot of times they won't even let you overclock on them. Let's see here. 3 days ago, Balajim Priman. I've done answered this one. Dave, could you change the time of your live show? Nah, sorry, can't do it. I done explained to you why I can't do it. You know, the times I picked is best for me. I can't go changing my time of my live show for every time somebody can't make my live show. I mean, I wish I could please everybody, but that ain't going to happen. I'm sorry, I can't be changing the time of my live show to please somebody else. I mean, I do it when it's most convenient for me, which is 11 a.m. on Saturday morning. If I work on Saturdays, it goes to 5 p.m. on Saturday evenings, Eastern Standard Time. Just because it's convenient for me and it's the best time I can do it. I'm sorry if you guys really want to watch, but you can't make it because of the time differences. I understand this. So yeah, but I can't go trying to change my time for my live show every time somebody wants to change so they could watch me. I just can't do that. It ain't fair to everybody else that's used to the time schedule that I've already got set forth. Yeah, sorry, can't do that. Francis Lindy, Serena, I guess the way you pronounce that. I keep getting the BIOS ID check error. Apparently you don't have the right BIOS downloaded. Check your BIOS, make sure your flash drive is in F32, make sure you have the right BIOS for your motherboard. Make sure it ain't for the Wi-Fi, or if you got Wi-Fi, make sure it says Wi-Fi on it. Make sure you got the exact same model number of the motherboard that it belongs to. That'd be my best guess on that one. We have Clannon Future. Okay. How to install ARGB. Noob question. Is Orbis F1 ARGB and Oris B550M Elite compatible? Does the motherboard support ARGB? Alright, everybody likes ARGB, so let's see here. RSB 450 Elite. Throw that up there and Google. Say go. Go, Google, go. Go, Google, go. Let's see, RGB Fusion. Smart fan, ain't that. Let's go back, see if we can find new egg listing. I like new egg a lot better than I do than even the manufacturer website. New egg, there we go. Now we'll find out. New egg will tell us what we want to know, right? That's right. Come down, hit the bottom. That's usually where the ARGB header is. System chassis, LED. There's the one for the LED. Let's go down here under the specs. Say looking for a header on a motherboard. Chipset. PXA 2.16. Express times 1. SATA. On-bed video. Of course. Audio chip. Audio channels. LANs. Back IOs. Internal I/O connectors, USB, other connectors, system fan, CPU, cooler LED strips, RGB strip extension cable header, one RGB LED header, front panel header, front panel audio. Nope, don't look like that motherboard has the header for the lighting. It does have RGB, but it does not have the ARGB. So to use that motherboard, you want ARGB, you'd have to buy the converter box like I did. So the Gigabyte B450 Aorus Elite does not support the ARGB, which is kind of strange because that's one of the higher level motherboards. I'm pretty sure that that one would have the support for ARGB, but apparently not. So now it ain't compatible because that motherboard does not support ARGB. I'm not too sure on what this even is. The Orbis F1. What is it? Is that a cooler? ARGB fans. Yeah, that's the fans that he's using. Yeah. Nah, they ain't compatible. Your motherboard don't support ARGB, so to use them fans with the ARGB on that motherboard, you'd have to buy the converter like I had to buy. Let's see here. No longer monetized. How to overclock your RAM? Can I leave the standard timing control on auto? Well, you can, but it won't overclock if you do. It's that simple. The standard timing control on that is actually what tells your RAM to run that. If you leave it on auto, it kind of picks its own. So it probably run 2133 like most memory runs at. Let's see, what else we got here? Hello, I need help. I turned on XMP profile in the BIOS, same motherboard as you, and states there I have 3200 megahertz RAM, but whenever I went to CPU-Z or command prompt, the speed shows 2400. My RAM is T group T Force Delta 3200 Castelli 716 on the Ryzen 25 or on the Ryzen 5 2600 CPU. I need help. I turn on the XMP profile on my BIOS with the same motherboard, and it states that I have 3200 megahertz, but whenever I went to CPU-Z or command prompt, the speed shows 2400 megahertz. That's interesting. I've never seen a system do that before. Normally everything matches up like it should. I've never seen one, CPU-Z or command prompt showing a different speed than what your motherboard actually shows in the BIOS. I'm not too sure on how to tell you how to fix that, or if there's even anything worth fixing. Even in the command prompt or in the CPU-Z, if I ain't mistaken, that will show you what your RAM is running at the current time. So just because you're running 3200 megahertz RAM and your BIOS is showing 3200 megahertz in the BIOS, your RAM's about like a processor. It'll wrap up to 3200 megahertz when it needs to. So even if it's a CPU-Z or the command prompt, I believe either one of those will show you what it's running at the current time. If you pull up your CPU-Z or you pull up your command prompt, run something like Prime 95. You can't do it with Memtest 86 because you gotta run it through the BIOS. You gotta need a program like Prime 95 that runs through Windows. Run Prime 95 because it will stress test your CPU and your RAM, and then see what CPU-Z or a hardware monitor through CPU-Z shows you as your max megahertz for your RAM. Because like I said, your RAM's going to be like your CPU. It ain't going to hit the max of what it's running at until it needs to run at it. Maybe that's what's happening, I'm assuming. I've never actually seen that happen. All the systems I've ever tested, I've never seen, which I've never used the command prompt. I've always used hardware monitor, but it's always pretty well matched up with what the BIOS shows. Hope that kind of helps you with that, which I probably don't, but I'll try. And it looks like that is the last comment, question, or concern that we have on the video this week. Ain't too bad. Looks like there are a few people watching me. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, throw them over there in chat. They'll be more than happy to answer them for you. But it don't look like you got anything new that's came in. As far as the channel goes, we've done pretty good this week, I guess. Well, up to 954 members in the community, so we are growing a little bit. It's taking quite a while to get built up here, but I think we're doing pretty good for who I am, I guess. Be it good or be it bad, we're averaging 2 to 6 subscribers per month, or 2 to 6 per day. So we'll go and get up there pretty soon. And I've been seeing a lot of comments back and forth through the comment section of the videos where the community's starting to help each other, and I like to see that. I'm glad you guys are trying to help each other out the best that you can. I appreciate that, not always waiting on me to answer. Because I know sometimes, if you answer a comment or ask a question at the end of the live show or after the live show, you gotta wait a whole week for the answer, where other people are able to jump in and kind of help you out throughout the week. So I enjoy watching that. I kind of like watching that. I appreciate you guys that's helping out each other. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, you know, I want to thank you all who watches the videos. I want to thank you all who comments and who likes and shares and whatnot. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And especially the ones that leave the comments, because the comments is what makes this live show something to talk about. Without it, you know, I'd probably go back to covering news or whatnot, and I really don't want to do that. You know, it's kind of why I did this, is for the subscribers. Just a chance to hang out with me, drink some, whatever your beverage of choice is, that you're legal to drink, you know, and hang out with me and talk tech and this and that, you know, pretty much that's why I started this live stream. So I want to thank you all that's been able to join me here this afternoon. Appreciate it. As far as this week's video coming up on the channel, I'm wanting to do the how did I get started, or where I came from as far as my computer experience started from. I haven't even started to record it yet. There's a reason for that. There's a lot in my history that I don't want to reveal, but some of it's made me who I am today, and how I got into computers. I think some of it's worth mentioning in the video. I'm still trying to weed through this of my past, and trying to figure out what to add and what not to add. But this Wednesday by noon, it should be up on the channel for anybody that's interested in that. You know, where I came from, how I got into computers, why I got into computers, that whole niche thing, you know. How long have I been into computers? You know, I've been in computers a lot longer than a lot of you probably have been alive. Tell you the truth of it. But yeah, that's going to be this week's video coming up. Like I said, I haven't even started recording it yet. I'm not too sure on how much to add and how much not to add. But yeah, Sherms0331. Got here late, but I appreciate your videos, Dave. Looking forward to your next one. Well, thank you, Sherms. I'm glad you were able to at least join us. I'm glad you did make it in tonight. Speaking of my next video, it is about the way I got into computers and a little bit about my history. There really ain't going to be directly tech related to one certain subject. It's going to be, I guess I'm going to be the subject of it. Just don't know exactly what to put in it and what to exclude from it. Because there's a lot of my past that's made me who I am, and some of it's actually turned me into getting into computers, where other parts not so much. That's going to probably be next week's video. I'm hoping it is, because that's what I got planned, and I don't have nothing else recorded, so I'm hoping so. Let's do a little bit of self-promotion here. There we go. But I went down through the comments, the questions, and concerns on the videos. Oh, excuse me. I haven't seen much come in through chat. So, I think I'm going to wrap it up here for the day. If you have anything in chat, you know, more than welcome to ask it. I'll stay over to get you answered the best that I can. But if not, you know, I'm going to wrap it up here for the day. It's been a long day. It's been a hard day. But if you like this kind of content, make sure you go down there and give me a like. If not, there's that dislike button. Beside that there dislike button, there's a comment section below that. leave a comment, you know. Just like I did today, I'll go through them next weekend and I'll answer any of them the best that I can for you. If you really like this kind of content, make sure you go down there and you hit that there subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. That way you're notified next time I go live or I put out a video. Let's see here, Daniel ML. What do you think about the devastation of the 2000 series? I really don't think much about the generation of graphics cards that's being replaced. Really don't have an opinion on it. That's just the way the technology works, and that's the way life goes from time to time. I mean, hell, I just paid
devaluation.
You know, I just paid $550 for a 2070 Super, and now it's being replaced by something a lot faster and a lot harder hitting and a lot better value with the 3070 series. You know, it is what it is. Of course, I'm only looking at the 3000 series because of the content for the channel. If it was for that, I would be more than happy with my 2070 Super. But yeah, you know, that's the way technology works. You know, most of the time, you know, anytime a new graphics card comes out, you're looking at 15-20% increase. This time it's a lot better. You know, NVIDIA's actually getting off their ass and doing what they should have been doing a long time ago, if you ask me. You know, but you know. And I'm a victim just like everybody else of the 2000 series. You know, like I said, I bought the 2070 Super less than 6 months ago, and I paid $550 for it. Now the 3070 is coming out with 2080, better than 2080 performance, or better performance than 2080 Ti. You know, I'm just like the rest of you. You know, I'm getting hit with it as well. But that's technology. You know. And you buy into the 30 series cards, guess what? The next series, the 40,000, the 40 series card, is going to probably do the same thing. And you're looking at 15 to 25% increase. And if NVIDIA does the right thing, they're going to keep them at the same price. You know, which that's what AMD's been doing for years. You know, they give you better performance at the same price. And we just finally caught on that that's the way it should be done. You know, I kind of hope they do keep it up. My opinion on the 2000 series, it's technology. It's the way it happens. I mean, it's a lot of people was in an outrage about it and whatnot, but still, you know, everybody knew for how many months that the 3000 series GPUs is coming around. So, you know, why buy a 2000 series if you could hold off until the new generation come out? A lot of people pulled the trigger and bought 2000 series cards anyways. You know, it's personal pick, it's personal preference. You know, they really don't have nobody to blame besides their own self. You know, they're the ones pulled the trigger so late in the game. You know, if you're going to go with a 2000 series, you should have bought them when they first released. I don't know, it's just my personal opinion. And, you know, my 2070 Super is still more than enough than what I need. It's still a great upgrade from the RX 580 that I was running. Will I replace it? If I'm lucky, I will be replacing with the 3070 series. Just for content for the channel, because that 2070 Super does more than enough than what I need. You know, it is what it is. But anyways, we're going to get off the red of the 2000 series cards here. And if you'd like to, if you're on Instagram or Twitter, there'll be links in the description below. If you'd like to come over there and follow me. I won't kill your inbox. But I do put out video photos of new stuff coming up on the channel as I kind of got them coming in. It's also where you'll be getting most of your information about my live stream, when I'm going to go live. Oh, excuse me. Or if everybody, if I have to cancel the live stream for some reason, which don't happen a whole lot, but it does happen from time to time. Though I am a family man, I do have my own home, you know, from time to time stuff does happen and I do have to cancel, which I try to make it very, very seldom that I cancel this. With all that being said, cheers to y'all. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend or what's left of it. I know there ain't a whole lot of it left, which weekend is never long enough anyways. But I'll see you in the next live stream or video.